first pitch in. It's Hammock who plunks Braytek, and here is Gabby Baylog, who stands in. Our home plate umpire tonight is Jenna Bullion. Susan Eads is our first baseman. Scott Mayer is over at third. Baylog, one of the newcomers to this Jacksonville roster. That's cut out and missed. It's a team that, we talked to Erica Ayers this morning, even keel. They have a calm about them. They won their first 2 games of opening weekend. They swept their doubleheader day 1. So this was just a tougher team mentally. That one misses just off the plate.
And that's their goal, Kyle. Coach talked about how their goal this season is just to remain the same verbatim as what she said in those high pressure situations, but also when they're up a ton, being able to control that heartbeat and be able to stay the same.
Well, there's the electric stuff that we see from Kara Hammock in moments. First K for Kara. Baylog goes down on strikes. Talked to Tim Walton earlier today, and when we chatted about Kara Hammock, she has some really elite stuff that can make her special in this league. Just has to find ways to command it. After an opening hit by pitch, a strikeout of Baylog. Here's Avery Harkis. The starting catcher takes a strike.
And to your point, Kyle, when you're in a league like the SEC, you've got to be able to have command of your moving pitches, because these hitters are so elite. They're going to be able to hit your mistakes and hit them hard.
Well, pounding the zone now, up 0-2. Hammock saw a couple of appearances over the weekend in Tampa. The Gators are off to a 6-0 start where they've just demolished teams. They had a start against Delaware, went 5 innings. And a pitch. Count now 1-2. Saw a relief appearance in the opener in Tampa against Illinois State. Gators have already had 4 run rule victories in their first 6 games. Runner thought about it, is caught in between. Good luck as Erickson fires down to second, but it will be Braytek who gets back to first. She was caught in no man's land between first and second. And when Jocelyn Erickson is standing at the other end of that, that's a tough proposition there.
I wouldn't try to steal on Jocelyn Erickson, but I think that's a really heads-up read by Braytek at first base. She's quick, she's savvy, and she was able to read the trajectory of the ball out of Hammock's hands and try to take second base, but you've got Jocelyn Erickson, who's a machine, and a brick wall behind the plate.
So the count's been worked full, and she went around for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hammock. Settles in after that opening pitch, hit by pitch.
And this is the same pitch that she used last at bat, that screwball that she's just tailing arm side, is really in command right now.
Here's Allison Carter. Stands in for JU. See the numbers from last year: 3 homers, 18 RBI. Team captain. Swings through strike 1. Transfer from Virginia Tech. Never played there. Was there in 2022. This is her 3rd season here with the Dolphins. She's off to a 3 of 15 start to her year. The next in the dirt gets past Erickson. A wild pitch will move up Braytek 60 feet. It's rare you see wild pitches as well with Erickson behind home plate. And when you have a commanding presence, Alicia, behind the dish like Jocelyn Erickson, perhaps maybe that can help calm down a Kara Hammock when things go a little bit haywire in terms of control. And that's a 5-pitch walk to Allison Carter. Second free pass of the inning.
And it does, and it should, as you know, Jocelyn Erickson walks out to the mound to maybe instill some confidence in Hammock. We talked about her command. Almost looks like she's lagging a little bit on that glove, on that arm side, and kind of leaking out to where that ball falls out of her hand.
Brings in now Lindsay Chadwick. Takes a strike. That is the big question once you head into SEC play. If there's any question about this Gator team, is who's going to be that number 2 starter in an SEC weekend? Tap foul for strike 2. Ava Brown made a big early case over the weekend in Tampa. She was sensational. Kara Hammock certainly has the stuff. And you see Tim Walton, the Hall of Famer. This is 20th season. You look down at that number, he's inching closer to 1K wins here in Gainesville. 986 and an 0-2 in the dirt. Transfer from UNC Wilmington. Certainly the pressure grows when you put on that Gator uniform. That's another tangible thing. Bounce foul.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Kyle. Sometimes, you know, even as a freshman coming in, every game, honestly, whenever I put a Gator uniform on, I was nervous, but it was good nerves. I feel like when you're playing on this stage, you feel pressure, but you also got to turn into something constructive and understand that this pressure is a privilege and you're here for a reason. Sometimes it takes a little bit, and I know that Kara Hammock will find it, but sometimes you got to go through the trials and the tribulations to be able to have that stamina and be able to build that confidence when you step on the rubber.
Hammock comes set 2-2. Bounce foul. With a 2-strike count here, you look at second base, Maddie Braytek, with that 3-point stance going.
She's in the running blocks. Can I get that head start?
Braytek, the leader of this team. We got a chance to talk to her earlier today. She had class earlier today. I asked her what class it was. Marine mammal biology. She's a health sciences major. Check swing, that rolls foul.
I think we were both taken by surprise.
Yeah, that class is for her minor. Then she wants to become a nurse. She wants to do nursing after she gets her degree. So there's a lot of different moving parts in my life right now, as you can imagine, for most student athletes. And another. Making Kara Hammock work here in the first. Good opportunity for this Jacksonville team as well to be competitive against the #2 team in the country. Boy, what a battle here. 10 pitch of the AB. Hoisted foul. We're doing it 11th. It's a group that's lost 3 consecutive. They hosted a tournament, hosted the likes of Western Carolina, Jacksonville State. Do it again. Line softly, and it just drops foul. That would have brought in multiple runs. Instead, it's a foul ball, and I mean just a foul ball.
Off the naked eye, it didn't look like it was going to hit the chalk line. Take another look how close it really was. Maybe a few inches, give or take.
Got a super zoom in there. Gators have allowed their opponent to score once in the first inning against Michigan. And the offering inside, count now full. This will be lucky number 13. We'll see who it's lucky for. Pitch count already nearing 30 here in the top of the first inning. Strike 3. Hammock wins the marathon. In the end, it was topsy-turvy, but strikes out the side. The Dolphins leave 2. It's JU nothing. Gators coming up when you return. They see center screen, a superstar amongst many superstars, starting 9 for the Hall of Famer Tim Walton. Kendra Falby at the top. We'll see Taylor Shoemaker in this inning, and Corbiotis. And, of course, really the top 5 is just tough for any opponent pitcher to try and navigate. You see 13 home runs for the Gators this year by 7 different Gators. And, Alicia, you look at J.C. Harrelson, the freshman, will try and navigate this lineup.
J.C. Harrelson, like you said, a freshman, just throwing her into the fire. We're going to see mid-60s from her. She's going to mix it up. Has a lot of upspin, so you can expect her to be up in the zone and for her to get a lot of pop-ups.
It's Kendra Falby who leads off, and she is one of those 13 home runs. She hit one halfway up the light post at South Florida on Sunday.
Kendra Falby excites me. I love the fact that she can do all three and really do all three, even in one at bat. The ability to stand in, slap, drop a bunt, and just leg it out.
Hitting .444 to start a new year. Slashes that to left. Diving catch by Haley Fox. Sly like a fox.
And a great heads-up play by the left fielder. See all smiles for Haley Fox. A great jump she had coming in on this ball, reading it, being able to lay out, knowing how important that first out is, especially with the speed of Kendra Falby at the top.
Well, here is the star of the week. Taylor Shoemaker, National Player of the Week, hoists the first foul. It's truly amazing what she's done. In the main comp, I talked to Tim Walton earlier today, is Amanda Lorenz with her swing plane just remains so consistent. There are not many areas of the zone that she does not attack at a high level. 5 homers, 11 RBI.
I just remember playing with Amanda Lorenz, and Coach Walton does this thing where he puts out 7 softballs across the plate in the river, and Amanda could hit all of them, but then he makes that comparison to Shoemaker and about how many zones that she can hit throughout the strike zone, and we've seen it here, folks, what she can do.
Coach Walton had said a lot of those subscriptions had her as a high 50s recruit. But to the Gators, she was always #1 for them. Been recruited by the Gators for a very long time. 2-1 to her is ball 3. So in a way, under-recruited. And there's that man who has snagged a lot of talent from out west, and that's where Taylor Shoemaker's from, Fullerton, California. That takes a strike.
We know her from her hitting this past weekend, going the yard numerous times in numerous games. But when he did watch her get recruited,
here she goes again. Taylor Shoemaker, are you kidding? A star has arrived in a big way in the early portion of 2025, and she wears number 21.
And what I was going to say, Kyle, is that he knew that she was the complete player, takes this inside pitch out in front and just drives it to right center field. 6 home run for the freshman. How about it?
It's truly amazing. I remember talking to Coach Walton in the preseason. He'd said that she was the best hitter on the team. And again, that's a team that has somebody who's right in the center of your picture right now, Corby Otis, the SEC Player of the Year, Jocelyn Erickson. That's no slight to them. That's just telling you exactly what we're seeing here in the week and change. And Taylor Shoemaker.
Oh, I believe she now leads the NCAA.
She does.
In home runs.
She was tied coming in.
As a freshman, that just excites Gator Nation when you think about what's to come in her future.
There you see the consistency of Corby Otis last year, but was an All-American season. Led Division I in walks, the conference in batting average. Takes the 2-0 a little bit up. And with that home run for Shoemaker now, that has her past Jessie Shipley, who she was tied with from UNCG. Shoemaker also came in at 8th in the nation in RBI. Otis takes all the way, 4 straight out of the zone.
And imagine facing Corby Otis right after Shoemaker. I mean, if Corby Otis isn't getting a hit, she's taking a base. So it's almost impossible to keep her off the base path.
And Jocelyn Erickson now stands in, who, according to Tim Walton and the numbers, had a much better opening weekend in Tampa this time around than last year. Had a home run. Biggest game of the weekend was against Delaware. Had a 3-hit performance, 5 of her first 15. Elite competitor, just has a different mindset than most. And that led to the second ever Gator to win the NFCA Player of the Year. First team All-American. And those numbers, it set a single season RBI record. Pop Fallow in 2.
And talk about all her accolades and what she's accomplished and what she's done for her team. But in talking to Coach Rowan, he made a point that when he has those exit meetings for the fall, he talked to Jocelyn Erickson, asked her what her goals are. And she simply said, I just want to do whatever I need to do for my team. And in those moments, whether it needs a home run, whether she needs to take that walk, says that she's a selfless competitor and will do whatever that she needs to do in order to get her team on the board.
Meanwhile, Harrelson calls for time. He mentioned that, all great players have some sort of an ego. Jossie doesn't. 0-2, laser shot, fair ball inside the left field chalk. Otis is on her horse. The throw is into third, well late. That's a double, smoked off the bat of Jocelyn Erickson. Gators now second and third with 1 out.
We talk about what the team needs. The team needed a double from Jocelyn Erickson. She takes this pitch that's outside on the chalk and just drives it to the left field foul line. Doesn't even finish her swing. That's just how much power that she has.
And for a freshman to have to get her way through this in Harrelson, first one is away to Reagan Walsh. Walsh, great start to her year. Had a grand slam against Michigan, has already homered twice. Career season a year ago. Off speed, 2 balls, no strikes. All-American last year for Reagan Walsh. This is a familiar setup I think you'll see all year long, Alicia. That's Erickson and Otis in scoring position for Walsh. The offering. With first base open. It doesn't seem like the worst thought here to just put Walsh on. Four straight out. That is the second 4-pitch walk of the inning for the freshman from Warner Robins, Georgia. And here's now Kenley Cahalan, who Tim Walton was beaming about earlier today. And we have Amanda Haverman, who comes out to chat with her pitcher.
You can imagine that Harrelson in the circle has a little bit of nerves. Already had a tank hit off of her. And Shoemaker, a few hits, a walk. Kind of talking about controlling that heartbeat that we spoke about earlier, just remaining the same. But almost looks like Harrelson just doesn't want to give them anything to hit. And as patient as Ford is, they're taking their bases.
And it's a young staff for JU that has 9 pitchers on it. 4 of those are two-way players. And Amanda Haverman, who walks back to the dugout, is the CEO, as Coach Ayers put it, of the staff. Now it's up to the newest Gator, Kenley Cahalan. Had a great weekend in Tampa. As the bases juice, just 1 away. The home run already for Taylor Shoemaker. You blink, you'll miss it. If you tune in late, you miss the Stargo yard. Shoemaker out to right center.
With ease.
With ease, for sure. Goes to the changeup for a strike.
I like it. I like the fact that Harrelson has walked 2 batters this inning, been able to come back 0-2. Now she has some count leverage, be able to play with some of her pitches through the zone.
How about this start for Kenley Cahalan? 8 of 18 in her first 6. 3 doubles over the last 4 games. Really played a great defensive third base as well. And a 1-2. Count even. junior from Trussville, Alabama. 2 seasons as a member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Was the top overall player in the 2023 class. Here, she swings away and swats it foul. Her dad was her softball coach most of her life. Softball runs in her blood. Started at 3-4 years old. Also played some basketball. Was a gymnast. At least tried gymnastics for a little bit.
I love that for her.
Another 2-2. Count full. No place to put her. If you're Harrelson, what's the thought here? Go with your best pitch. Is that the changeup here?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you have bases loaded 3-2 with 1 out. Try to get that ground ball. Maybe induce a double play.
Payoff, uppercut in the air. Does this stay in the field of play? It lands foul. Jazz Jones, a long run, just found the perfect spot if you're Cahalan.
And the Gators don't have a small ballpark. When you look at the space outside of the foul lines, Jazz had to run a long way to try to get that ball and almost had it.
Ball 4, that forces in a run. The carousel keeps moving as Otis touches home. It's 2-0 Gators now. And you have possibly the hottest hitter, aside from Taylor Shoemaker, who's in the 7th spot. That's Mia Williams, who now comes up. Nobody in the bullpen either for JU at the moment. So this is Harrelson to try and fight through this with 1 gun. That was Kendra Falby lined out to left. Williams rips the first back foul. Her start, Alicia, 10 of her first 17. Leads the team in extra base hits. 5-game hit streak.
And I love her story. Last year didn't necessarily have the year that she may have wanted. Already over half of the hits that she had last year. And we talked to Coach Walton, and he said the reason she's able to translate such good practices to now have great hits in the game early this season is because she's learned how to cope with that failure and to be able.
1-1 rolled over foul.
Be able to control her barrel a little bit better. Her swing's gotten better. She's matured a little bit more. Now you're able to see the fruits of her labor in the offseason.
Leads the team in hits. Shoemaker leads the team in extra base hits. Mia Williams, 10 hits coming in. Big spot here with a 1-2. Good eye for Williams. Biggest thing for her was the ability to adapt. 2 strikes, 2 outs, different pitches. Also the ability to make adjustments in game. That's changed. And a 2-2 is reached for and popped up off of third. Gabby Baylog is there to make the catch, and a gigantic out for Harrelson.
Really good job at keeping Mia Williams off balance. And Harrelson, we talked about that off speed that we so badly wanted her to throw last at bat. Uses that to get Mia to leak forward and be able to just get her to swing out in front and pop it up.
Here's Ava Brown now. It's been in and out of the lineup. She started the season 0 for 5. Got her first hit against Georgia Southern. But her pitching has been outstanding. Tonight for her, she's in the designated player spot. Just a 1 of 8 start to her season, but coming off a really solid freshman year. At 13 home runs, that was the 4th most for a freshman in program history. Snap toss to first. Cahalan gets back. And the count now 3-0. The one voice you heard yelling back, that was Tim Walton over at third.
I feel like he sees things before they happen.
Four-pitch walk brings in another. And Erickson comes across. Everybody moves up. So 3 runs here in the first inning. Gators have scored first in all 7 games.
Harrelson just got to be able to get ahead. When she got ahead against Nia Williams, something good came out of that. The percentages are way higher to be able to get the batter out if you're able to get some strikes on the board as opposed to going 3-0 or in this case 4-0.
There's a team captain, Riley Holtorf. Those are the numbers last year at Washington at a power surge. 11 home runs, 25 RBI. Had some key bats over the weekend to turn the lineup over. Alicia, a sure-handed shortstop they needed after the graduation of Skylar Wallace.
There's a big hole missing, Kyle, and he went in the transfer portal and utilized his resources, and he was able to actually grab 2 shortstops. You got Kenley Cahalan playing third base, who we've seen in the SEC at Alabama play shortstop for the past 2 years, but
and those are the 3 transfers that come over. You see Hammock, who got the start tonight. That's a strike. High school teammates with Jocelyn Erickson, so that has come full circle. They will get a chance when the Gators go out to Arizona to practice at their high school. Sandra Day O'Connor. Big pitch for Harrelson. Roasted deep left field, twisting towards the corner and foul. That went over the fence. A scored shot from the Gators shortstop.
just a long strike, Kyle.
Yeah, that's probably the hardest hit ball she's had all year.
How cool is it that these players get to go to their old high school and practice on their field? It's like a dream come true. All the blood, sweat, and tears that you had on that high school field, and now you're able to experience it full circle with your college roster.
Holtorf waits on this one. High drive, left field, grand slam! How about that for the newest Gator, Riley Holtorf? Clears the bases.
Holtorf going yard, her first home run of the year in grand slam fashion. This ball left over the heart of the plate, and she just drops that knee, gets it dirty, and takes this ball over left center field. And the excitement that she has, I love it.
The feeling rounding first, just putting her hands up to the skies. Tough one for the freshman Gators. They just continue to roll along with the bats. Come on back with a pitching change.
Only 3 hits. They have 4 walks.
Skylar Wagoner, Alicia, she will get the call here. Tough go of it for J.C. Harrelson. What do you see here from the right-hander?
Wagoner,
left-hander, excuse me.
One of many sophomores on the squad, coming with a different look from the left side, has 3 speeds. You're going to see her pound the bottom of the zone, a different look than Harrelson, the starter.
A lot of down spin, 3 different speeds. Team captain as well. There's Kendra Falby. She had the first out, go back a while ago. It was a nice diving catch from Haley Fox out in shallow left field. Well, it's just fun to watch this offense, Alicia. You were a part of so many great teams and so many great lineups. This one ranks right up with some of them. Again, we're still early. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves.
We are very early, but at the same time, it's really hard to hit a round ball with a round bat. So the amount of times that they've been able to do that and put up some serious numbers is impressive. And you can say that it's preseason, it's the first weekend, but I think this is going to be a testament to what they do.
Falby yanks this out to right field. That's that grip and rip, Kendra. You see that every once in a while as the throw gets away. Thought about second base. Let's go back to, it seems like 30 minutes ago, the Taylor Shoemaker, who has become a star. 5 home runs in the first 6 games, making a 6th here, Alicia.
We've seen a ton of home runs going oppo, but this one was low in the zone inside, and she just gets her bat out in front and drives this ball.
2 multi-homer games. Does she have a third? Here lines this foul. It's almost if she does not homer, it's a disappointment.
This Gators lineup is proving to be really tough. When you talk about the names that they have in the squad that they have, you've got Kendra backed by Shoemaker, and then you look at the rest of the lineup, there's just virtually no breaks. Imagine trying to walk Shoemaker and then having to face Corby Otis. Walking Corby Otis and then having to face Jocelyn Erickson.
Runner takes off, throw down, well late. Kendra Falby's 3rd all-time in Florida history in stolen bases. That's the 89th of her career. Next up is Kelsey Stewart with 113.
She's just incredibly fast, gets such good reads on the ball. Now her 7th steal. We're going to see a lot of that from Kendra Falby this year.
1-1 on its way. Curls it foul. Falby was a part of a team a couple seasons ago that set a program record in stolen bases. Of course, when you have somebody like Skylar Wallace as well in the lineup, those numbers just kept going up and up. 6 home runs in 7 games for Taylor Shoemaker. Multi-homer games against Michigan and USF. High bouncer. Does this stay fair? Twist foul.
As we hear Gator Nation laughing downstairs, I think they all want to see number 2 in this game.
Somebody in her career, Tim Walton told us earlier today, has played every outfield spot, has hit first, has hit 9th. She wants to be a big TikTok star, too. I think she's on her way. The play's doing the talking right now. 1-2 home. Smoked on a line, right center field. That's cut off right in front of the warning track, but an RBI for Taylor Shoemaker. How about another ribby? That's 13 on the year. Another extra base hit, and the Gators have 8 here in the first inning.
A new life after that foul ball. We see a lot of big things from Shoemaker. We saw her go to right center field on an inside pitch. This one over the heart of the plate and drives it again to right center field and gaining a run, the Gators.
This looks so effortless. That's the way to describe Taylor Shoemaker, Alicia. We've seen of now her 6 home runs, 2 of those have gone to opposite field, and it's just a little flick of the wrist, and that thing just goes flying.
I mean, you look at her, and she just exudes confidence. We just saw a clip of her, and she's just cool, calm, and collected.
Late break, Shoemaker is in easily. The ball was in the dirt. Marcus' throw was well tardy.
And those are the little things that are going to make a big difference down the stretch of the season. Being able to read those balls in the dirt and the trajectory of the ball out of the pitcher's hand. Really good read by Shoemaker.
1-1 to Otis. Will take up the ladder. We're told, too, Shoemaker has a really good speed as well, which is something that Amanda Lorenz, people don't think about that right away. When you think about Lorenz, you think about the great swings and the extra base hits, but that's somebody who had wheels in Lorenz. Shoemaker, the same thing.
And Coach said he really realized that she had some wheels when he watched her play outfield, said that she was the complete player, watched her steal a home run. What did he say, going on
one of those breakaway fences. She went over and like through a breakaway fence, making a catch in a championship game. Otis hoists one in the air, playable right. That should bring an end to this marathon inning. The Gators 8 runs on 5 hits. Taylor Shoemaker homering, as well as Riley Holtor. First time as a Gator. Bases loaded, bases cleared on one swing. A grand slam for the newest Gator shortstop. That's how the softball looks to these Gators right now, according to our director, Scott Snyder. Give him credit for that one. Gators 8 runs on 5 hits in the first inning. And you see last year, a year to remember for sure. Gators had a trip to the Women's College World Series semis, lost in an if-necessary game to Oklahoma. What did Tim Walton say earlier today, Alicia? That there's no moral victories in this program. And that message has trickled down to the players. You know, they know there were successes. I mean, there were 5 All-Americans on the team. But he had mentioned a player had been quoted in an article saying there's no moral victories to last year. And he said, well, I guess my message has gotten across.
He did. And he wanted to make a point to his team. Like, just because they lost to Oklahoma and it wasn't by a huge deficit doesn't mean it's anything to necessarily celebrate. And they took that to heart, walked in with a chip on their shoulder this year, returning 4 of those 5 All-Americans and trying to go back to OKC. A long road ahead, a lot of work to do, Coach Walton said, nonetheless.
Well, meanwhile, Alicia, 4-pitch walk to Haley Fox, who leads it off. Reagan Dixon now stands in. We saw Jacksonville put 2 on in the first. They missed an extra base hit by inches as Dixon fouls off the first. Last year, the Gators won their 6th SEC tournament championship. They finished 2nd in the regular season behind just Tennessee. And then when it was all said and done, their 12th Women's College World Series. 0-1 swung through by Dixon, down on the count 0-2. They also set a program record for run rule victories with 28. They're on their way to their 5th tonight. 0-2. Popped up back our way. Alicia, did you bring your glove?
It's in the car, Kyle.
Okay, well, that doesn't help us if it's in your car. There's a screen anyway, so there's no way that softballs could make their way back here.
I honestly think Jocelyn should have caught that ball.
You think so? You think she should have did a Spider-Man maneuver up the net? Hammock's 0-2. Now, I wouldn't put it past Jocelyn Erickson to make that catch.
Well, neither, since she's the best catcher, arguably, in the country.
Swung through for strike 3. So we've seen the good and the bad, sort of what we've maybe seen in the offseason at times, erratic control, but that power pitching already has 4 strikeouts.
I like what I see. I see the spin. When you can see the spin in real time, all the way from up here, you know that it's moving. That pitch was nasty. It almost looked like a backdoor screw. I know it wasn't intended to be, but the way that it curved back onto the plate from the outside corner was kind of dirty. But we have seen, you know, a few walks this game, 2 to be exact, 4 strikeouts. Hammock's got to learn how to control her commands down the stretch. She has some insurance in this game to feel like she can let her shoulders down, as Coach Walton calls a timeout.
It's 2-0 to Kirsten Stevens, who saw nearly 70 on the gun. And this is rare in a sense that usually it's the pitching coach, in this case Stephanie Van Brakel Prothro, that would come out in a spot like this. But this is one of those head coach to players, I would assume, calm you down, tell you you're really good. You have an 8-run lead, and let's just show it here.
And sometimes he just wants everybody to see his cool shoes.
You know what? That too. What kind of shoes he's got tonight.
It's funny because Coach Walton typically hosts, you know, different parties and stuff, and there's a rumor that he has a whole closet full of his shoes.
He wouldn't tell me how many pairs of shoes he has. 2-0 is ball 3.
No Jays today. Maybe tomorrow.
Gators will have Stetson in town tomorrow. You can watch that on the SEC Network Plus. The Gators have a game every day this week, well, aside from yesterday. Misses for ball 4. So you've had in this start a hit by pitch, a 5-pitch walk, and a pair of 4-pitch walks here for Hammock.
Hammock's missing a lot arm side. It almost looks as if she's not finishing through in her finish to be able to elevate those pitches a little bit more. She's not missing wide. She's just missing a little bit low. So I'd love to see her finish those pitches. And with these insurance runs, just go at these batters.
First pitch ambush. Jazz Jones lines one to left. And the bases are loaded here for JU, trying to come up with a response here in the second.
Nice pull by Jazz Jones. We talked about going at the batters, and Jazz Jones takes full advantage.
A good opportunity here for the Dolphins' best player, Madison Braytek, who was hit by a pitch, the first one she saw to start the night. You see the numbers last year, led the team in batting average and hits. A 1-0 right down the chute. This summer, about 7 or 8 players on campus. She was a part of that charge to get everybody who was around the Jacksonville area to workouts. Line right back up the middle into center field. 1 run scores as Falby fires in. Walsh cuts off as Fox comes across, and it's Braytek who comes through with her second ribby of the year, and JU's on the board.
And a nice poke by Braytek leading the charge for Jacksonville. This pitch left over the heart, almost one of those pitches that just bleeds back over. Braytek doesn't need to do too much, just hammers it back up the middle.
And here's now Gabby Baylog, fouls off the first. It was nearly 30 pitches in the first inning for Hammock, nearing 50 here in the second. One strike pitch. And Ava Brown, Alicia, is getting warm already in that bullpen. Still seeing the same things, Alicia, the follow through is just not quite there.
Yeah, it almost looks like she's trying too hard to hit a spot and just not allowing herself to finish her pitch at the end.
The offering, jam foul. And there you see there's 2 more strikes than balls, halfway to 100 in the second inning. Strike 3. Well, it seems like there's one of 2 outcomes here for Kara Hammock, either a free pass or a strikeout.
And I like it. I like how she battled back, getting this pitch, almost the pitcher's pitch, right above the knees, but a strike, battling back. I don't think she liked that one.
After back-to-back hits, 2 out now in the inning for Avery Harkins. Got fooled on that off speed. RBI single in the inning for Madison Braytek.
I think this is the perfect time for Hammock to work through some of the things that she might be experiencing on the mound. As a newcomer, but with experience, especially when you have as many insurance runs as you have, to be able to find it.
Bouncing ball, Cahalan inning over. Jacksonville gets 1 back in the frame on a pair of hits. They leave the bases loaded. The Gators still comfortably in front as we head to the home second. Hard to believe. 20th season already for him at the helm. Has helped build the standard. Look at all the years on the outfield wall. World Series, SEC championships. As Jocelyn Erickson leads off, and all but one of those years was pre-Tim Walton. That was in 1998, an SEC championship. And those are the 2 biggest of them all. National champions. It's right over the coaches' offices over there. They turn into suites during the game. You ever get invited up to that suite area, Alicia, during games? that you're not broadcasting?
I don't know that I have.
No? Well, I think that's a conversation that needs to be had here.
I need to get in the VIP suite up there.
I don't know if there's a specific golden ticket that you get to get in there.
I'll just sneak in. Names on the wall.
Well, I think you could do that. Yeah, I mean, your face and picture is all over the facility, so I think you can get in. I think I would be escorted out in handcuffs, but I think you're good.
I usually like to sit in the chairs on the left field. Yeah, on the left field foul line. Get kind of like a better view of the whole field, I feel like.
Perhaps.
A lot of great seating, especially with the renovations that they've had.
Maybe catch a Jocelyn Erickson home run if you're lucky.
I'd love that. I'm the biggest fan. I'd want her to sign it, too.
5-pitch walk to the Gator catcher. Those are the Adirondack chairs, and they added a see-through element on the right field side as well. There wasn't always a see-through chain link fence in right field. Well, there's a berm area, so you could sit a little bit closer to the field of play down the right field line as well. There's many options, is what we're saying. Reagan Walsh now takes a little low. Skylar Wagoner coming in relief. It was a tough start for J.C. Harrelson, the starter, the freshman, just 2/3 of an inning, 7 earned runs, so that ERA is going to skyrocket at 4 walks.
And you know what, Kai? I actually think she did a good job. Aside from the 4 walks that she had, 7 earned runs on 3 hits. I think she held them down when she did keep it around the zone for the most part. Did give up some home runs there, but
Walsh off the end of the bat, little lazy pop fly foul. And somebody who I think, Alicia, doesn't get talked about enough, that is Reagan Walsh, right in the center of your screen. What a season last year. And she's right on the edge of that murderer's row in the top 5 of the order.
Yeah, I think she's flown under the radar when you talk about people that she's had in front of her, and Skylar Wallace and even Charlotte Eccles a few years ago. She's been the unsung hero.
Walsh rips one past Jones into center field. That's when you know your swing's in a good place, Alicia, when it goes right back up the middle, right?
Yeah, keeping her hands inside. She's so strong. All she has to do is get her barrel on it, and it does exactly that.
So 2 on, nobody out. And Kenley Cahalan to the plate. Gators an 8-run first inning. Taylor Shoemaker did indeed home run. We should create a Twitter account. Did Taylor Shoemaker homer today?
What would we call it?
Just tweet yes or no every single day. Somebody's on it right now. I know it. There's a lot of diehard fans that are going to take that idea. You see Cahalan bases loaded walk in the first inning. She has 3 RBI in the young season. Rolls this over. Strike 2. Two years of eligibility remaining. Ariel Kowalewski was the Gator starting third baseman last year. She transferred sort of late in the process out to Texas A&M and opened a spot in the Gator infield. 2 shortstops on the left side. An 0-2 off the end of the bat to first. Chadwick will take it to the bag. Runners move up, so a productive ground out. Erickson down to third, Walsh down to second. And we'll see Mia Williams for a second time. She popped out her first time to the dish.
Got a little hung up on that off-speed pitch by Harrelson. Her first at bat, got a little anxious.
We talked a little bit about Mia Williams in the first, Alicia, but last year she put a lot of pressure on herself. Now she's just playing free and loose. So what does that mean? Not necessarily going up there trying to get a hit or not trying to strike out. Those are the words of Tim Walton. You just can't do that as a hitter. It's too difficult as it is. As time is called.
It is extremely difficult. it's almost like you've already lost the battle before you even went to war. But Amelia Williams, we talked about how impressive her offseason has been in translating all those efforts into her game on the field. And it's such a mental game when you step on the softball field, or really any field for any sport. It's a lot of mental toughness that you have to implement into your game to be able to perform at this level. And she's done the work this offseason. Coach Walton says that she's one of those players that just watches film of her swing every day, has really worked hard to kind of tweak it to get it to where she wants to be more consistent. And they've talked about her swing, but she just found a lot of confidence in just seeing it every day and making sure it looks the way that she wants it to look.
She's a visual learner. That's what Tim Walton said. They take video of her swings every single day from different angles, and they'll break it down, and she can see things right away about her swing that are off. In-game adjustments, that's something that just wasn't on the table last year for her. It's completely different now. One ball, two strikes. Wagner, long wind.
And there's a few different types of adjustments that you can make when you're scouting pitchers, the adjustments that you make before the game. The adjustments that you make in the game can be, whether it be before an at-bat, in between at-bats, or in between each pitch. And Mia Williams has shown to be able to make those adjustments in between each pitch and be coached by Walton.
Off the end of the bat, sky high towards the screen and just out. Souvenir.
Do you have your glove, Kyle? That's the real question. See a toddler with the ball in the stands, real present.
Love it. My glove is back home, Alicia, so meaning New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Yeah, so I didn't bring it with me. I haven't put on a glove in ages.
I gotta get you one.
You have sponsorships. Make it happen. 2-2 to Williams. Smoke foul.
It's one of the things that Coach Walton said about Mia Williams and all the conversations we've had with him is she can hit the ball a mile, and she does so in practice consistently. She's just so strong pound for pound.
And the two-strike approach has gotten so much better. It'll be another 2-2. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up. There you see 164 last year, had really good moments. Won an SEC Freshman of the Week. In a series against Kentucky, couple of home runs in the SEC tournament. Already nearing her hit total from all of last year. The offering. In the dirt, good eye.
A nice block by Harkis behind the dish, knowing that she has runners in scoring position right now, trying to keep that run production to a minimum. We're still in this game. 8-1.
Wagner, team captain, on a payoff pitch. That's strike three. Outside corner. Big K on a long battle.
And I'll take that pitch. Backdoor curve. She has been serving that today, and another to Mia Williams to get her to look on this third strike. A nasty pitch.
First strikeout for Wagner. Brings in Ava Brown. We saw her warming up in the pitching lab in the last half inning. Reached on a 4-pitch walk, came around to score in the first. Big part of that Gators run to Oklahoma City. 0-1, hit high in the air, and this will drift out of play.
love it. Before this at bat, you saw her talking. You still see her talking to herself, and that is just so important as an elite athlete, because you talk to yourself more than you talk to anyone on this earth. So just give yourself some words of wisdom and confidence. Be able to reiterate the small things to perform.
Brown lines this one foul to the corner. Yet when I talk to myself up here, I get a side eye and a weird look.
Well, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make you feel a little uncomfortable. That's all.
Sometimes I do it, but I do it by myself, Kyle. That's the difference.
It's okay in the realm of athletics. It's not in a broadcast booth, apparently. 0-2 to Brown. Popped up. At least she didn't bring her glove, so we don't have a shot at this one.
Anybody have a hat?
Ready to get 40 pitches. Second JU Dolphin inside the circle. 2-strike pitch. That gets past the catcher and Harkis. Here comes Erickson, cruising on through, and the Gators are back up by that 8-run margin. Walsh goes down to third. It's 9-1. That's one way to get a run in.
The Gators will definitely take it. A run is a run. That one just got away from Harkis on a elevated curveball.
And these are the situations, Alicia, in close games in SEC play, 2 outs, runner at third as a hitter, that you need to come through more often than not to have a successful conference year. Little tapper. Wagner's got it. Rhythm toss to first, and that will do it. The Gators tack on one more in the inning. A run on a hit. Wild pitch puts the Gators back up by 8 through 2. To the third, Gators 9 runs on 6 hits. There's some of the returners that has led the Gators to a high preseason mark. Number 2, you see Jocelyn Erickson, Corby Otis, Keegan Rothrock in the circle, Walsh and Falby. 4 All-Americans that return. All of those all-SEC performers. The Gators have the reigning SEC Player of the Year in Jocelyn Erickson, SEC Freshman of the Year in Keegan Rothrock. It was a young staff last year, and they had that experience of a regional, a super regional, and a World Series as Allison Carter leads off. And that goes a long way, Alicia, doesn't it, for a young core that the Gators have?
It does, and I was extremely impressed by the performance that Keegan Rothrock and Ava Brown had in the circle last year, the composure that they had in order to take their team, put them on their back, and get to the World Series. Now, obviously, they had the offense. We talk about the All-Americans that they had.
Off the end of the bat to short, and there's one away.
But that experience is going to go a long way this year. Imagine a freshman taking their team to the World Series. I think the possibilities are going to be endless this year. And Keegan, we already talked about how she's playing freer this year. You can imagine what she's going to look like down the stretch now that she's healthy and playing with that freeness.
Chadwick on the ground to Palin. Vacuums it up. Ground number 2. Back-to-back ground outs, and how key is a 1-2-3 inning, Alicia, for Kara Hammond?
It is, especially with what she showed us thus far in this game, giving up 3 walks, but a lot of pitches that weren't necessarily competitive. Jocelyn Erickson having work overtime behind the plate to block some of those balls, but should give her some confidence moving forward.
Haley Fox stands in here with 2 out. Yeah, they're most likely going to need her to be a big presence in SEC play. You see the pitches by inning, 29 in the first. JU got 1 back in the second. Line softly. Holtorf got it on the backhand. Like a star tennis player going to the hole. It's short, turning that glove over. Holtorf already has a grand slam. Tonight, she'll lead off the bottom of the third. Back here in the home third, Riley Holtorf will lead it off. It was a grand slam tonight for the newest Gator. Everybody needs a proper introduction when they put on a new uniform, and that's what Riley got in the first. She's had a really nice stretch of not just softball, but her life. She got married in the offseason. Her husband's living in Gainesville, playing out her final year of eligibility with her old high school teammate, Jocelyn Erickson. Whacks this on the ground to third. Well, not quite the same fanfare as what we saw in the first. Just a 5-3 ground out. 8-run first inning for the Gators. J.C. Harrelson, Skylar Wagoner did a nice job settling down this game.
To be fair, Kyle, you said she was welcome to Gator Nation, but I think she welcomed us. When you have a 9-hole hitter hitting grand slams, makes your lineup extremely dangerous.
It's almost unfair as Kendra Falvey stands in this lineup to have your 9-hitter hitting grand slams. It seems like it shouldn't be allowed.
And the crazy thing is Kendra Falvey can also hit a grand slam if she so wanted to. The way that she swings away when she does, she's able to provide power in that way as well.
Falvey led the SEC in hits last year. Had a grip and rip single. Pulled it to right center. You don't see many line drive pulled singles from Kendra. I'd say about 95% of her hits get slapped to the left side. Had one of the longest balls I've seen, not just from her, but really for any Gator against USF, that home run. And had a similar home run against Florida State last year. It was a marathon game against the Gators' rival.
It's always a big one when the Gators play Florida State.
Smokes this to center field. All of a sudden, Kendra Falvey has turned into Barry Bonds. These are hard-hit balls to center and to right center. Look out, Kendra Falvey adding even more to her tools, and look out, Francesca Neyes. Was that a salt celebration there?
I don't know what it was, but I liked it. I love the energy, and I love the smiles and the sunshine that Kendra Falvey always brings to the softball field.
All right, everybody, if you're in the kitchen or you're walking around, get back to your TV right now. Taylor Shoemaker is up.
Thank you, because I actually didn't know. Kidding.
Homered in the first, RBI single in that same inning. Gators hit around in the first.
I think we got to figure out a cool nickname for her. How many home runs she's already hit?
I was talking about this the other day with somebody. I've been trying to cook some things up. Something with the shoe, but we haven't really workshopped it yet. A 2-0 to her. Runner takes off. Pitch inside. Throw wide. Hits Falvey. Goes into center, and she'll stay put. Well, for Falvey, that is now career stolen base number 90.
Her second one of this game. Such a great rocking start to get ahead and get a piece of momentum into that steal. Again, we're going to see a lot of that at Kendra Falvey. It's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when she's going to steal.
Takes all the way, 3-1. You heard Alicia mention this after Taylor homered, but now has the lead in the nation in home runs. It's 90 stolen bases, third in Florida history. Trails Skylar Wallace and Kelsey Stewart. Already 8 for 8. Hitters count. Count full.
I don't think the crowd liked that call, Kyle.
Payoff pitch. Just got a piece. Already 13 RBI. It's just amazing how quick that she's transitioned. And inside the building, they use her as an example for everything. If somebody else maybe is struggling on a certain aspect of their game, a reference will, hey, you know, Taylor Shoemaker does it this way, does it that way, because she's just been a model player so far and how she's gone about it. Her mechanics, her swing, it's elite. And she'll take her base.
And the thing about it, too, is she's so quiet in the box. Takes up some space, but not a ton of movement. Gets her hands going, and I think you said this multiple times today, just grips and rips.
Here's Otis. 4-pitch walk, flew out to right. Wagoner cruises one in right down the chute. Team captain Corby Otis. Led the nation in walks last year, 3rd in runs scored per game, 3rd best on base in the country. Led that statistic for most of the year. Best OBP in the country. Now it's 0-2. Doesn't matter that it's an 8-run game. Gator Nation is letting here Jenna Bullion hear it.
So if I'm Wagoner, I'm living there. If I'm getting that call, that pitcher's pitch, that's crossing over the chalk in the river, landing right on the outer part of the plate, I'm going to keep throwing it there, trying to get those calls, keep these batters guessing. I might even try to move it out more, see if the umpire will give it to me. It's kind of mindset you got to have when you're facing elite hitters like this. How far can I get to where the umpire will call it a strike? Be able to take full advantage of the zone and keep expanding it.
Last year, first team All-American. What does she have in store this year? Right now, a full count. Snap toss to second. Falby just got back. A little bit more interesting than maybe what Kendra Falby was expecting.
Looked like she was trying to delay steal, almost kept inching over to third base. But Harkis had an eye on her. Wasn't going to let that happen.
So another payoff pitch coming. And it's plateward. Roasted foul. Ultra competitor. Corby Otis. Tim Walton said that they think the same way when it comes to competition. But the off-season as an intern at UF Shen's, watching over open heart surgeries. To be a cardiothoracic surgeon. Incredibly smart. High softball IQ.
I love that. I feel like I'm in her shoes right now. I'm watching Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, same thing.
Same thing. Same exact thing. But I think it's so impressive what she's able to do. It's hard enough to balance school and softball, but to be in a health science with a medical degree is extremely tough, but she's doing it, and she's doing it with grace.
Love all the different interactions with Francesca Ney at first base. It's like everybody has their own thing.
She's funny. She posted the other day her hugging one of the players at first base, saying, "I'm a needy first base coach." Had a little cackle there.
Gator Hall of Famer now, Francesca Ney. Jocelyn Erickson to the plate. Gators already have one grand slam. That's from Riley Holtorf. A double tonight for Jossie, as they call her. Walked on 5 pitches. 2 trips to the plate. Amanda Haverman comes out. It's her second time coming out to the circle. There's somebody getting warm in the Jacksonville University bullpen. But these are the real beautiful nights. As you see the Dolphin bullpen, as we would say, double barrel action. You got the righty and the lefty. But when you get May super regional time and it is about the hottest, it's hotter than the surface of the sun. These are the nights that you think about. 69 degrees, clear skies. You can wear a t-shirt.
You can wear a hoodie, can wear a tank top. Take your pick. But I spent so many days and nights playing softball here in Florida growing up here. It's almost like during the summer when you're walking outside, your back starts to itch because of how much you're already sweating. So this is perfect softball weather. It feels beautiful outside right now.
Well, meeting adjourned inside the circle. Skylar Wagner last year led this staff in innings. Threw a no-hitter against Fordham. Led the team in strikeouts, shutouts. Tough assignment here. Deals high. Think of all the big late game swings that Jocelyn Harrison had last year. The biggest that stands out in Athens, Georgia. A comeback win to win a series. Count now 3-0. Sometimes you get players that can be stat patters that hit home runs late in games with big deficits or big leads. Jocelyn Erickson had some timely hits.
She's a competitor. She knows how to manage that pressure that she might feel in those big time situations when the intensity is through the roof, and that's really when it matters.
It's back-to-back strikes from Wagner. Went into the transfer portal after 1 year at Oklahoma. Was the backup catcher and came here, became a star. Payoff on its way. Erickson rolls this over to second base as Stevens fires on to first. Falvey comes in to score. Shoemaker and Otis move up. That's an RBI for Jocelyn Erickson. Gators crack 10. They're up 10-1.
I know the competitor in her not happy about that, but nonetheless a productive out, moving the runners 60 feet.
Here's Reagan Walsh. First base open. That one right down center, fell back. Some of the young pieces of this team, Reagan Walsh has played. This is now her 204th career game. Made over 200 starts, has started just about every single game of her career. Pitch clock is at 5 right now, and time is called.
That was implemented last year just to get the game going a little bit quicker.
That one was crushed. Foul. I mean, you worked quick, did you not, Alicia?
I did work quick, but it's something about seeing the numbers boil down to 0 on that pitch clock that kind of incites a little bit of like nervousness and a feeling that you're rushed in some ways. But it's important to just get back on the mound and get the sign and then take your time after that instead of the opposite.
This one off the instep. Walsh is going to need a minute. And she doesn't wear the shin guard that you see a lot of power hitters wear. Let's see. Oh, that didn't hit the ground first either. That's what makes it hurt even more. That's right on the instep.
Right in that arch. Might see a lot of drainage down there in the next coming days. But their MVP right now is the trainer. Did you see how fast she ran to Reagan?
It's part of the deal.
She started running before she got hit, actually.
Giving her time. You just got to talk your way through it, right? How many times? I mean, you were.
It's like when you stub your toe. You gotta say it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
Talk yourself down, you know. And you get the round of applause as well.
And the fun part here now is having to battle back from 0-2.
Now do you throw it low and inside here if you're Wagner?
That would be diabolical.
It's harsh but fair.
Yes, she'd be a menace if she were to do that here. But she's been throwing a lot of backdoor curves to these righties, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again. And there goes down and
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's coming again.
How much you willing to put on that, Kyle?
Make a friendly wager of a piece of candy or something like that. I don't know. You can have my Chick-fil-A box. I have that up here.
I am hungry.
Runners at second and third. There are 2 gone in the inning. There's 10 runs on 7 hits. Walsh unloads right center field and stays in the park. It's Carter who makes the catch. Almost a collision out in the gap in front of the warning track. A loud crack of the bat. Gators leave 2 in the frame, up 10-1. The night is over for Kara Hammock. 3 innings, 2 hits, a run which was earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. The walks an issue. Again, you saw, Alicia, some of the good and some of the bad. And for Kara Hammock, they hope she's part of the plans moving forward here in some big games.
I think it's going to take a little bit of game experience for her. She's done a really good job of making her pitches break and move, but I think at the end of the day, when she's facing opponents who can really take advantage of pitches left on the heart of the plate.
Well, here's now Alicia Ava Brown, who's had a great start to her year in the circle. What have you seen from her, the sophomore from Montgomery, Texas?
I love watching Ava pitch. I think she has a lot of different tools. She mixes speeds really well. Low to mid 60s. We talked about her arsenal. Her changeup's dirty. When her changeup's working, she's nearly impossible to hit.
Yeah, staff has said that changeup needs to be threatening for her to be at the peak of her powers. 16-5 last year as the #2 starter behind Keegan Rothrock. The walks too high for her. Had a complete game against Georgia Southern. Has pitched in 4 games. Tied with Rothrock for the most innings on this staff. Reagan Dixon stands in to lead off the Dolphin 4th. Right back to Brown. Those infielder instincts. Man.
I chose the perfect time to look up from the monitor. This pitch was raked right back up to Ava, but she did not flinch. She just stuck her glove right in front of her head and made that play. Oh, man. That was crazy. Talk about the reaction time.
Just nonchalant, too, in the celebration.
She said, I do this in my sleep.
Kirsten Stevens here with 1 out. Of course, Ava Brown platoons at first base. Do have some defensive changes we want to get to as well on the infield for the Gators. Gabby Comia comes in to play third. It's bounced back to Ava Brown. What can Brown do for you? That's 2 outs.
I think it's what can Brown do for herself?
You know what? That's a great point.
Helping herself out on the mound. I love not only a two-way player, but somebody who can feel their position on the mound, and she's doing just that.
Also, Jocelyn Erickson is now at first base. McKenna Belair, actually Brooke Bernard is doing the catching right now. We saw McKenna Belair over the weekend as the backup, but it's Brooke Bernard who's playing that new position. Started to do some catching in the fall. Erickson is an elite first baseman, but of course we'll see the majority of the games behind home plate.
Coach Walton says that she's just as good a first baseman as she is behind the plate. Could be arguably one of the best in the country, but she's very much needed behind the dish.
Can you clone Jocelyn Erickson and put her at 2 positions? That against NCAA rules. Jazz Jones goes down on strikes. This was the inning of Ava Brown. Defense on display. The K on display. 0-0 locked in. 10-1. 10 runs on 7 hits for the orange and blue tonight. Skylar Wagoner, second Dolphin pitcher. We will see Gabby Comia get a chance to hit here at KSP. Her first career at bat, Alicia, was a home run down in Tampa this weekend. No better feeling, I'm sure, for a freshman. 2 hits in that Tampa tournament. Homered against Delaware.
And she's one of those players that has tools. Can do it all, can bunt for a hit, can slap, can swing away and hit home runs in their first collegiate at bat.
Grew up 165 miles away from Keegan Rothrock, who's from Whiteland, Indiana. Comia from St. John, Indiana. Erica Ayers went to the lineup card, I think, to adjust some things in terms of a change. Highly ranked freshman. There's Erica Ayers. Talked to her earlier today. They had a Super Bowl viewing party, too. That was at the Braytech house. They have a lot of Eagle fans on this team, apparently. Comia, high in the air to the aforementioned Braytech, makes the grab.
We have a lot of Eagle fans now.
Yeah,
even more that joined the bandwagon. Exactly.
Some bandwagoners, if you may. Skylar Wagner.
Good one, good one.
You like that one?
Actually, I did.
There'll be a family reunion at the ballpark this weekend. Marissa Young, who is the mom of Layla Lamar, will be in town with the Duke Blue Devils. Be a lot of fun. That'll be Friday. They'll also play Sunday. And pinch hitting for Mia Williams. Has incredible power.
Talked to the strength coach, Coach Paul Chandler, and asked him who is the strongest person on the team. And he said Layla Lamar, pound for pound, just gets into the weight room and gets busy. Can lift heavy and can hit the ball a mile.
Swung through a changeup. The top 20 recruit, PGF All-American. Mom's playing number was number 7. So she put a 1 in front of it. And that's where she got 17. Yeah, she goes down quickly on strikes. The running joke for Layla Lamar is that she was always better than her mom, so she put that 1 right in front of
She had to one-up her.
Yes. Her
Literally.
I did want to mention this. Her favorite Gator all time is Alicia Ocasio.
I've had the pleasure of, I guess working alongside her would be the wrong term, but just knowing her, and done some camps in North Carolina for Duke and also the Lady Dukes organization, and I've had the pleasure of knowing her and her family, and they've been awesome. Been great to know and be able to call them friends.
Brooke Bernard pinch hitting, I should say hitting here. She came in defensively in the last half inning. Amanda Haberman comes out to the circle. You work a lot of those camps in the off season, right, Alicia? So you see a lot of the young talent around the country.
Here and there, I do. I've been honored to be able to come back here and even work some camps, and I just worked a UCF camp. It's just an awesome experience to be able to, grow our game and help give tools to the youth, softball players all around Florida and other places, and you see the growth of the game. There's a lot more visibility within softball, a lot more network coverage. I'm just grateful that people are able to see how great our sport really is.
A chance for the senior to hit here with 2 gone. Brooke Bernard, former Ole Miss Rebel. More of a pinch running role a season ago.
I'm a fan of this Wagner backdoor curve. She's gotten strikeouts on it. She's been hitting it for strikes. Whenever she does get it through and around that river, it looks pretty nasty. You see the spin, and it just pops up in there for a strike. See Bernard hitting it off the end of the bat in foul territory. Can get her barrel behind it, but knows that it might get called for a strike, even as far as it might feel or seem in the box. Coming from the left side.
High drive, right center field. Braytek a good jump. This one to the warning track. A long, loud out for Brooke Bernard. And a rare 1-2-3 inning for the Gator bats. 3 outs to get in run rule territory. Well, if you missed the start of this game, you missed just about everything. The Gators had 8 runs in the first inning. Take a look at our game summary. Gators up 10-1, 3 outs to get here in the 5th. Kara Hammock got the start, went 3 innings. Riley Holtorf hit her first Gator home run, and what a way to do it, a grand slam out to left center field. Taylor Shoemaker also homering again for a 6th time. We're taking all recommendations for nicknames for Taylor Shoemaker as well. And Riley Holtorf can get a nickname as well with the grand slam tonight.
Got to be creative. I think Shoemaker's got that one. Coach Walton said she was extremely creative. Maybe she can come up with her own nickname.
Yeah. Madison Braytek, Jacksonville down to their final 3 outs. Run rule territory. Ava Brown goes back to work. 1 for 1 tonight and an RBI single. The future nurse. That's what she eventually wants to do after softball. Family lives in the Jacksonville area. First time not playing with her sister this year, Allison Braytek.
She's loving it, though. She's playing free, able to step into her own and find her voice.
Braytek deep down the left field line. Otis has room. Tell you what, Braytek's a special player. She's had some really good swings tonight.
The Dolphins, number 8,
Gators just another dominant night here at the ballpark. Look to win their first 7 games. Have a featured matchup, 2 of them against Duke this weekend. Boston College, Providence, Binghamton all come to town. Gators will have Stetson tomorrow. So there's going to be games here at KSP every single day, all the way through Sunday. As Gaddy fouls back the pitch.
And the Duke Blue Devils will be their first ranked opponents of this year.
Be a huge test. Duke, of course, a World Series team last year.
Really impressive year they had last year, their first year going to the World Series after only being in the business for 7 years. They look pretty solid. I had the opportunity to call some of their games this past weekend in Clearwater, and while they lost 2 over the weekend, they looked really solid and put together and had a lot of returners from that World Series team last year. So we'll see how they're able to put it together again this season.
Gaddy goes down on strikes. And there's 2 away. Gators 1 out to get.
Eva Brown just looks like a dog in her appearance today. That curveball that she just clips the plate with. Get her to swing and miss. We saw it last inning with her 1 strikeout, but assisted herself with her defense. And that hard hit ball with the middle that she snagged, and another ground ball that she helped herself out with. And she just looks like she's playing loose and confident right now, and as is the rest of this Gators team, especially on offense.
Last chance, Tatum McCool stands in for JU to pinch hit spot. Gators a lot to like again. Big offensive night, 10 runs on 7 hits. Ava Brown looks to close the door, and 1 strike away from doing so. 8-run first inning, highlighted by a Holtorf grand slam, Shoemaker home run. Parts of this crowd will get to their feet. Just a little out.
It's a good take. A little bit elevated. I'm looking for her to swing and miss and pop something up, but a really good take by Harkis.
Brown's 2-2. Caught on and missed. The exclamation point on another run rule win. Ava Brown slams the door on JU. Alicia Ocasio, a 10-1 final. The offense was on display with a big first inning tonight.
A phenomenal display. They just kept that momentum going from over the weekend, scoring a ton more runs, run ruling their opponents 6 out of the 7 games that they've played this far.